Good morning, beautiful friends and fellow seekers. Welcome to Coffee with the Council. Happy Wednesday. How are you? Hello, hello. I pushed the start live button this time. You should be able to see me and hear me. Hello. How's your Wednesdays? How are you guys feeling? Good morning, Allison. Oh my God, sending you a big hug. Haven't seen you in ages. How are you? Good morning, Carrie. Good morning, Jack. Hi, Mira. Nice to see you too. Who's all here today? Hi, Gwen. Is Gwen here? Gwen's here. Yay. Hi, Christine. Good morning. I have a very soft, sweet spot in my heart this morning, even though I'm tired. This is day 30 of the commitment I made to the council to do these Coffee with the Council sessions. I can't believe we've been at it for 4 weeks. Can you guys believe it? It's so cool. I didn't know if I could do it. And I did do it. Although I'm looking forward to getting my mornings back in May. You can see the new schedule for May there. I just sort of decided it this morning. So super, super special. And also today is a year ago today, for those who some of you are very new to me, but a year ago, God, my life is so different a year later. A year ago, I was living in Rochester, New York, helping take care of an elderly friend of mine named Marty. And right around this time, she was going into hospice care at our home, her home where we lived. And there is nothing quite as surreal as administering morphine to somebody that you love and care about. And that's what I started doing right around this time a year ago. She died last year, May 13th. So we're coming up. This is 2 weeks. Yeah, it's about 2 weeks. 2 weeks away. So anyway, soft spot in my heart for her. She's off and celebrating, enjoying being with all that is, or perhaps she has chosen another incarnation or having a different experience that we do not know about. But we are here today in the here and the now, and I'm saying hi to all of you. Hi, Allison. I'm so happy to see you and be able to join this morning. Yes, it's so good to see you, dear. We have missed you. It's good to have you here. Good morning, Catherine with a K. Yay, how are you? Gwen made it. Guys, this is our celebration. This is the wrap up for April. This is the wrap up for April. And yesterday's session was so powerful and beautiful. Good morning, April. Nice to see you. It was so powerful and beautiful that when Gwen watched the video on where I upload them, she left a comment, and I realized what she said in her comment, thank you, Gwen, by the way, is probably what the title of that video should have been. So I'm probably going to change the title. Yes, it was really, really lovely. I can't remember exactly what Gwen said. Let me see if it'll pop up here for me. Every moment has infinite possibilities, infinite choices. I love this. Thanks again. Thanks once again, Greg and the council. Yes, infinite possibilities and infinite choices. It was really a powerful message. It was a powerful, powerful transmission from the council, and very uplifting, very, very, very high vibe. So we will see what we have from them today. Yes, how are you guys? What's going on today? How are you feeling? Allison, how's life? Oh, Carrie, quick question. You submitted a question for the council for the recording, which Gwen and I are doing this afternoon, but we answered it at the last Let's Soar. So do you want to keep your question in for the council, or has it been answered? Do you want to remove your question? Let me know, Carrie. Who's all here? Anybody a first timer? Anybody brand new to me or to Coffee with the Council? Welcome if you are. Is this anyone's first Coffee with the Council? Hi, Allie. Welcome to you. You're what we call a firstie. We love meeting firsties because, at least in my heart, they're just friends we haven't met yet, or who are meeting for the first time, or meeting again, or however you want to say it. We're all friends here. So welcome, Allie. Give her a warm, big hug, everybody. Allison says, life is great and crazy and busy and messy. Ha ha. I kind of agree and concur with that. You still want a newer answer, please. No problem, Carrie. Gwen says, I think the May lives at One Mountain will be better for me to be more consistent. Yeah, I think, and that's beautiful to hear you say, because I think the 1 p.m. Mountain time will be better for me to be consistent. I mean, I've been consistent, but it'll be easier for me as well. So I think it'll be better all around. Plus, we'll get to see our friends from the future. I miss my buddy Jojo from New Zealand, Joanne, everybody who knows Joanne. Wonderful, wonderful, beautiful soul. So yeah, we'll be doing 1 p.m. in May. I don't have the sessions booked in Insight Timer yet. So just keep an eye out. I'll be doing that at the end of this week. I haven't decided yet whether we're starting next Monday or whether we're starting after that, but we'll probably start next Monday because I love doing these. I love hanging out with you guys nearly every day with a few breaks. And this is just where it's at right now for me. For those who don't know, about 6 weeks ago, the council invited me. I was kind of asking them, how can I grow my connection with you? How can I fine tune and calibrate my channeling even more so that I can just receive more and grow in this and learn more from you guys and you know, basically partner together better or more expansively. And they gave me this idea of coffee with the council, and they literally said, if you commit to this for 30 days, your life will change completely, forever. And I feel like that's happening. And the content that we've been covering, anyone who's missed it, oh my God, you may want to spend some time checking out the replays or come back in May because we're doing a reprise. I'm going to be playing the replays from all the April sessions throughout May. So we're going to be able to just study and get and steep ourselves in the messages that the council gave us this month. So it's really, really exciting for me and hopefully for you guys too. Carrie says, yes, life is busy and crazy, but I'm doing good and love the Mojo game. It certainly helps. It does, doesn't it? I still need to make that Mojo game track. Yay, you're welcome, Allie. So good to hear you. You like to see me every day too. It's really nice, right? This is community. This is my community. This is our community. And we have the beautiful enchanted tree with us today for this commemorative day. Anybody else who's a brand new first timer? If you're first time here, please say hi in chat. Tell us where you're from and how you're feeling. And if you want, are you drinking coffee, tea, water, juice? I always have my water in my beautiful iron flask. That's the brand name. My name's Greg Phillips. Welcome. I'm a way shower and channel, and I'm here on the planet to guide people into the depths of their hearts, which is where I believe we can experience meaningful transformation, because when we skip over the mental activity and the vocal activity and we just drop right into our pure, essential, sacred energy, then we truly experience who we are, and we can really, have all sorts of insights and transformations. For the heart is the portal to the divine. It is the seat of the soul, and a seed as well. I like to think of it as a seed. So anyways, welcome to me and to Coffee with the Council. We have a beautiful session planned today. Hello, Ula from Toronto. You are okay today. Good morning, Madeline. Good to see you. I love that tree too, Carrie. I am so tired today, but I'm also feeling really good. Hello, April. Has anyone else noticed any changes in their manifesting abilities this month? Ooh, interesting question. I'm noticing a shift that relates to Infinite Possibilities theme that the council shared yesterday. You want to tell us a little more about that, April? We'd love to hear. That sounds amazing. How would you describe this shift? I know it might be one thing to, just do your best to type it out. It may be easy, it may be challenging, who knows? Typing is not always easy for me, personally. Yay, Toronto too. Allison's from Toronto too. I love Toronto. I used to live in Rochester, right across the lake from you guys. Rochester, New York. Has anyone else noticed a change in their manifesting abilities? Has anyone in the last month, for anyone who's been coming to the most of the month, or at least been tracking it on the replays, have you noticed any specific, not necessarily the same one April's asking, have you noticed any specific shift or aha that you've had in the last month that you're just like, wow, I feel really different about this, or I'm thinking really different about this, or I'm just having a different experience with something that I've never experienced it this way before? April saying, lately, I make a wish, even for a simple thing, and it comes to me with literally no effort. That is how the universe is designed. That's amazing, April. It sounds like you are in fantastic place of alignment where you're just recognizing that it already is the minute you wish for it. That's really, really powerful. Mira is saying, I'm feeling my psychic abilities growing. Wow, super cool. I didn't expect that, but that does make sense too. I can feel, or quote unquote, see things before they happen. It's been freaking me out, but I'm learning to embrace it. Yeah, ride it like a wave, sweetheart. Just pretend that you are surfing the experience of these new perceptions, right? You're opening up it's not so much, yes, your psychic abilities, but you're really opening up your perception, right? Your ability to perceive more than what you normally have been, which is fantastic. That means you're seeing more of the limitless possibilities. That is so wicked cool. I love that. Jack is saying, huge difference, acknowledging stuff we particularly don't want or like, not accepting, but acknowledging. That's a powerful one. Acknowledging what is, even when we don't like it. Just letting it be, allowing it to be exactly as it is without trying to change it or effort it away. Beautiful. Absolutely love that. I love that for everybody. That is so cool. What else do we got here? Carrie is saying the idea of the isness is really landing home, and everything just seems to flow easier, even if things aren't going the way I want it to. Yeah. Has anyone noticed that things that they used to have an emotional charge around, they're just not reacting the same as you used to? You're not feeling, you might still have a charge, but it might be a lot lesser. It might be gone. You might look at this and just be like, oh, it just is. Madeline says, yes, what Jack wrote, acknowledging and practicing allowing. Lovely, beautiful, beautiful, Madeline. Oh, Carrie, that's what you're experiencing? It just is. Look at that, it just is. Yeah, it's been a powerful month. I've so appreciated having all of you here so that we can dive into these beautiful topics. And I could feel the council doing cartwheels. Oh, I'm celebrating your guys' ahas and these beautiful awarenesses. Does anyone else want to share something that they've really kind of, it's not so much comprehended mentally, but sort of are really understanding, like on a deep knowing sense? Angela says, yes, I've noticed this, Greg. It's good and a little scary. It's only scary, sweetheart, because it is unknown. Okay? The unknown is scary to us, but as Bashar often says, the only thing you're ever going to discover in the unknown is more of yourself. More of who you really are. It also can be scary because it's exciting. Fear and excitement are often, or anxiety and excitement are the same coin, two sides of the same coin. I forget how the phrase goes. Yes, indeed. Beautiful. Gosh, I love this for you guys so much. All right, we're going to get into our message for today, unless anyone else wants to share something that they have experienced this last month from the council's coffee session messages. Jack says, I can pull myself back from wasness and not yetness so much more easily. The words are powerful. They are, aren't they? I feel like the council has imbued a certain frequency or a certain energetic trigger. That's what I would call it, because everything has its own frequency. They don't have to imbue the frequency, but they've imbued an energetic trigger in these particular words: isness, wasness, not yetness, I amness, right? The thrill of existence. They've just embedded something for us so that it when we say the words or think the words or hear the words, for a moment we just go and we connect with the energy of what they were conveying. I really think there's something very powerful going on with that. Christine says, about you, Greg, when you shared your own story and devotion to the council. Oh, thanks, Christine. Yeah, I love the council. They're so sweet and loving and fun. And they're really inspiring me. I've learned so much this month. One of the big things for me has just been the whole notion of, like, every time when they come in and they talk about how they love and celebrate each and every single experience we have, no matter how we feel about it, they're celebrating it. Like, wow, like that's so cool. And I realized the other day, the council didn't just come to me a year ago. They did come to me a year ago, but I called this into being 15 years ago. I don't think I ever told you guys this story. So I was sitting with a friend of mine who channels Dr. Peebles, and this is about 15 years ago. And I was asking Dr. Peebles about if there was any vibration or frequency higher than love, because of what I'd been hearing from him and Abraham Hicks and others was that love is the highest frequency, the highest vibration that humanity has access to right now. And I would always hear that humanity has access to right now. I would hear the right now part. And so my curious mind, and I've always been, for those who know me, I've always been a Trekkie, into Star Trek, Star Wars, the whole thing. I love time travel episodes and any movies about time travel. So I've always been curious about what's possible beyond the physical, right? I've been that way ever since I was little. And I should say younger, because when I was younger, I wasn't little. I was a quite large child. Anyways, back to the story. So Dr. People says to me, yes, in fact, there are, but you do not have the ability to perceive those until you raise your vibration, which is why love is the or at that time, because I think this has changed this year, but back then 15 years ago, he was saying that is why love is the highest possible vibration that's accessible to humanity on the planet right now. But there's more beyond that. And so my curiosity, my desire to understand the frequencies and the vibrations that are higher than love put the council in motion. It took 15 years for me to embrace actually opening myself up to listening, putting myself in service of others, to listen and to be able to receive and bring in the council. But think about it, that ties into exactly why they're here. They're here to share. The Council of Seven isn't seven beings, for those who've never met the council. They're a massive collective of individuals. They have not revealed their individuality to me. They exist as a council, but they represent seven distinct energies and vibrations that are essential for our spiritual evolution. And the first of which is love. The second they revealed on Valentine's Day this year, which is unity. And all of this conversation we've been having with them about isness, everything they've been sharing has been designed, I can feel them talking to me right now, has been designed to get us ready for a deeper conversation around the relationship between moving into the experience of love, and we're not talking a physical 3D feeling, love as a feeling. We're talking about love as existence, love as the energy of existence on planet Earth, right? And that's how we connect with the unity. And unity doesn't mean agreement. Unity is way bigger than agreement. So this whole thing started 15 years ago when I asked a simple question, which I thought was a simple question. And so now here we are, all gathering together and exploring this and learning about the energies and the topics from the council. Make it so. Jack says, in fact, I rarely visit those places anymore. whereas I kind of lived there before. Wow, Jack, that's amazing. It means you're much more in the moment. I love that. Hi, Sherry. Good to see you. I've missed you too. It's nice to have you back. Yeah, that's okay, Sherry. You're here now. Make it so, says Mike. Yeah, make it so. Hit it. Endless. April says, Greg, the message of unity is resonating with me because one of the intuitive hits I received lately was trust the unfolding unity consciousness is rising. Look at that. April bringing in the extra wisdom. I love that. You are very in tune right now, April. I love this for you. You know what? Everybody labels it all sorts of stuff. The shift, the new earth, the great whatever, blah, 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 blah. It all just is, right? Regardless of the labels, we don't have to get, it is an important time in the planet right now. It is an important time for us as humans. So engage, Jeffrey says, engage. Let's fly, as Captain Burnham used to say. Let's fly. I love how she said that with such a glee and a mirth. It's very, very cool. All right. April says, I'm learning from the best teachers like you, Greg. Oh, thank you, sweetheart. I appreciate that. And I'm just a way shower. I'm just here to guide. I'm just here to show the way. And you are doing the learning. You guys are all doing your own learning, which is absolutely awesome. It's just so nice for me to witness it. I don't know if anyone's ever checked out my socials, but one of the labels that I put on there for myself is champion of others' ahas. I've been doing this for years in terms of that's a tough one. Championing. Wow, that is hard when you add the ing. Championing others' ahas. I've been doing that for 30 plus years and I love it. And I guess when I say it out loud to you guys, it's kind of a version of what the council's talking about celebrating each and every single thing. I'm the kind of guy that if you lost your job and came to me and said, oh, I lost my job, I would say that's fantastic. Because I know that that's one door closing and another one's going to open and you're going to grow and you're going to expand and you're going to have whole new experiences, right? I'm not the kind of guy who's going to be like, oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. I might say I'm sorry to hear that, but then I might weed in. However, it's really a wonderful opportunity for you, right? But yeah, back in the day, I used to say, that's fantastic. And people would get pissed at me. Boy, am I ever, says Carrie. Absolutely. You are funny, Carrie. All right. My goodness. Greg's had the gift of gab this morning. I hope it's been enjoyable. Let's check in with the council. We have plenty of time today. I don't have a business or a work meeting for another hour, so we are good. You can see that, Madeline. Absolutely. And again, I just want to point out, this is my favorite virtual background. We called it the Enchanted Tree. I'll let you guys see it for a moment. I just love this thing. Look at that. Magical little bursts of light. Amazing colors. Definitely pretty sweet indeed. All right, dear friends. Okay, let's see what the council has to share with us today. Welcome. Thank you for being here. I'm so glad you're all here. And I don't even know, I didn't even check in with them to see what they're going to talk about today. So let's find out together. Can everyone hear the music okay? I always like to check on that. Music, thumbs up. We good on the music? You can hear me okay too. Yes, wonderful. Thank you, Madeline, for giving me the thumbs. Okay. I need to turn the music down on my end. You can't hear the music, Catherine? Oh. It's just supposed to be background music. There, I turned it up a little. How about now? Gwen can hear it. It is an ambient sound. Exactly, Madeline. All right, my dear friends. Dear Guides in Council 7, please open me up to receive our message today. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, our dear ones, dear beloved friends. We greet you from the energetic realms where we love, honor, and celebrate every single finger on your hands, every single toe on your feet, every single time you stub your toe, every single time you hug a dear one, every single time you look longingly at a piece of cake, every single time you consider your plans for the future, every single time you sit to meditate, every single time you hop on a live session on your beloved app, Insight Timer. Indeed, every single experience you have, we are here celebrating and cheering you on. There has never been a greater cheering team, or whatever you might call it, on the planet. We do not know, but we have never enjoyed this time of the last month more than we have in, well, it's not that time exists for us, but in, shall we say, in current recent memory, if that makes any sense. Indeed, we are very much enjoying and appreciating the shifts that you have been experiencing, all the learnings that you have been going through, whether it is from us, from our dear channel Greg, or from other individuals within your sphere of connection and community. Indeed, dear friends, take in everything that you are learning at this time. Make sure that you evaluate it in a not an analytical way, but to simply in a, is what I'm hearing working for me or not? If it is not working for you, if it is not resonating for you deep within your heart space, not your mind, not even your body, but deep within your heart space, if it is not resonating with you deep within your heart space, then simply let it be. Now, dear friends, this tip, this encouragement, and this invitation to tap into recognizing whether it is resonating deep within your heart space, this indeed is a tool that you can use for every single experience you have. And this will help you fine-tune, as dear April said, fine-tune your manifesting abilities. This will help you fine-tune your ability to be in the nowness. This will help you fine-tune your ability to no longer have emotional charges of things. This is absolutely beautiful and stellar. If you were to practice this on a consistent basis, it does take an intention. You do need to set an intention, and we love to remind people that an intention is simply a decision in which you put your energy behind. It will see this slightly differently. A decision in which you put your energy into, you back it up with your energy. That is the our simple definition of an intention. Indeed, it is as simple as that. You make a decision and you put your energy behind it. You back it up, you invest your energy in it because it is an important decision to you. So it may require a decision or an intention for you to check in with your heart on a more regular basis. However, those that have been with us this last month of your time have been learning how to do that by various topics, whether it was a discussion of wasness, not yetness, nowness, I amness, or yesterday's very beautiful, powerful, and high vibration discussion about the limitless possibilities that exist in every single occurrence, in every single moment of your life. Indeed, when you tap into your heart space and you simply say, does this resonate for me, or with me, or at me, or to me? Does this resonate with me deep within my heart? For example, dear friends, if you have suddenly found yourself browsing online and looking at the current news informations and different readings of the news, and you stop for a moment and you say, is this resonating with me deep in my heart? And you realize, reading this, while I wish to be informed, reading this is not bringing me any joy. Reading this, perhaps if you use the mojo, the moments of joy game in that moment, you might say, well, this is only a 1, and today I'm committed to being at least at a 5 on the mojo joy scale. Indeed, then you simply there have the power of choice, something that we've been constantly reminding all of you this last month. You always and forever have the power of choice. So as you are reading these bits and bobs of news, you may simply suddenly realize, this is not in alignment with me. This does not resonate with me. And you can simply let it go and walk away. And dear friends, If you are the type of individual that likes to stay informed, indeed, as long as it is joyful, as long as it is resonating with you deep in your heart, then indeed pursue that. If you are the type of individual that loves to work hard, if you are the type of individual that loves to play hard, if you are the type of individual like our dear channel Greg, who appreciates the balance in life and does not like to work hard but likes to work differently with energetic leverage, indeed, be who you are. If it resonates with you deep in your heart, dear friends, then put your energy into it, put your attention to it, put your action into it. If it does not resonate with you deep in your heart, dear friends, please do not spend your precious energy on anything that does not resonate with you. Why is this important? Because as we get into in the future, or as time unfolds for you, for us, we are already having this conversation with you even without words. Yes, indeed. This is why some of the shifts you've been experiencing are occurring, because you are receiving the energetics of it, not just the words of it. And in some cases, you're not even receiving the words and you're just receiving the energetics. In other cases, you're receiving the words and you're receiving the energetics associated with words and not the extra layers of energetics. And this is all well and good and just fine. What we'd like to say about the resonance in your heart, dear friends, this is absolutely important, because it will be through this particular tool, this particular practice of recognizing when something resonates deeply in your heart with you, that you will begin to recognize the beauty of all that is. You'll begin to recognize how you are not just a vessel for experiencing the feeling of love, and that you are not just a conduit for flowing the force and the energy of love, but that you are love. That you truly exist as one with the field that is love. And the more and more you note whether you are resonating with something, the more and more you are putting yourself in the alignment, quite physics-wise, if you will, quite energy mechanics, if you will. The actual energetic mechanics is that you are putting yourself in alignment with the highest possible frequency on the planet, and the more and more in which you do that, the more you will open yourself to understanding the next energy of unity. Now, many on the planet are calling it unity consciousness. This is indeed an accurate phrase, but for us, it's a bit stuffy, if you will. It's a bit heavy. It's a little bit on the mental side for us, not entirely, but just a smidge. Consciousness that starts to beg the question of what is consciousness and who is consciousness and why is consciousness. Too many questions, although questions are beautiful when they do reveal certain answers that you have been longing for. So, but sorry, we digress. We are very excited today, and we are happy to be here with all of you as always. However, unity consciousness, again, we just returned to the message that we've been sharing over and over this last month. It just is. It is really comes down to the question of your ability to perceive it. If this is something that you wish to perceive someday in your experience, if there is something else that you wish to learn, for example, our dear Greg has always wanted to learn how to bend time and space. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink, time travel indeed. He still wishes to do this. This requires heightening one's perception of the true energetic mechanics and dynamics that are going on. And this indeed, dear friends, is what we have been teaching you through the use of the simplest of words: isness, wasness, nowness, not yetness, I amness. And we have also been teaching you tips and tools and tricks and perspectives that you can choose to latch onto or not. There is no absolute requirement for any of this, dear friends. This is all within the realm of your power of choosing of what you wish to experience for yourself. For example, perhaps you wish to be able to do psychic readings. Perhaps you wish to be able to learn how to channel or increase the conduit that you are as a channel that you know you are already. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, our dear friend Carrie. Perhaps you are wanting to be able to offer certain services to individuals that require deepening and expanding your perception. Dear friends, what we have shared for the last month are all ways of doing that. And this is absolutely important, because if you do not expand your perception of reality, your perception of all that is, if you do not expand it, well, you simply will stay where you are. And that is fine, and that is a legitimate choice, and there is nothing wrong with that. Many individuals on the planet are choosing to stay where they are and not grow, not expand their perceptions, not expand their sense of reality, not make connections with love. Many are choosing to stay in fear. Many are choosing to stay in discouragement and depression. Many have been choosing that for so long that they have created a chemical condition and continue to stay in that. The body is now reinforcing that. Nothing of those choices is wrong. There is no wrong choice, dear ones. There is only the power of choice in every single moment. Indeed, every single choice, every single possibility exists in every single moment, as we discussed thoroughly yesterday. And today what we're saying is, if you so desire to expand your awareness, then you must expand your perception. And as you expand your perception, come more and more into alignment with higher vibrations and higher frequencies, you will begin to know truly what it means to is. Truly what it means to be love. And as you learn and experience that, and as you look around and you see, I see love in that individual. That individual is love, just like I am. How fascinating, because I perceive them slightly differently. I do perceive them as love, but I perceive them slightly differently. This must be what the council and others are talking about, how each and every single individual has a unique perspective. They are representative of a unique perspective of Source. Source has so many limitless, unlimited possibilities and perspectives that they are all expressed in the many multitudes of people that live on the planet with you at this time. And so as you see another individual, and this may be an individual that you do not agree with, that you do not even like their presence of, and yet when you see that they too are love, and when you can see that they are a unique and individualized expression of love, you'll begin to marvel at how brilliantly, how magically, how synchronously, how mystically, and how amazingly the universe has put together this reality and this experience and this existence of which you are happily a part of. And indeed, for when you are recognizing that every single experience is a representation of love, every single individual you come across is a representation of love from their own unique perspective. Every single tree, every single animal, every single bird, every single drop of water is a reflection of all that is. You'll begin to see and thrill to the existence of life. You'll begin to start to know and understand the unity of all things, for it is impossible to not be in unity. The very existence of all things is united, for they are all one. And yet they're all individually expressed on your planet in the physical. In the energetic, it is all one. And in the physical, it is all one. It just appears that it is not all one. So, dear friends, do not succumb to the myth of separation. Do your best to keep your crown chakras open. Heighten your perceptions through whatever tools, tips, and tricks resonate deeply in your heart with you. And we so appreciate every single moment you spend engaging in this intention to grow along these lines, and you are indeed growing and shifting, otherwise we would not celebrate. Indeed, you are growing and shifting in ways that you don't even know, that you're not even aware of, and you're doing this billions and billions of times a second. Indeed, it may feel as though you're not aware of it at such a rate, at such a capacity, and that's okay. You do not need to be aware of all the subtle shifts that are occurring every single second. You just need to be aware of how things resonate with your heart. So, dear friends, we are in extra celebratory mode today because we have just fulfilled, and our dear beloved Greg has fulfilled his commitment, his intention to do 30 days of these Coffee with the Council sessions, and we are absolutely thrilled at how wonderful they've been for him and for you, indeed for the community as a whole. And we do look forward to continuing these with you in the next month of your time frame, and we look forward to bringing more and more information to you, for without your asking, for without you showing up, for without your very life experience, we and our answers do not exist. For those things that we share with you are being summoned by you. For your creative abilities, your co-creative abilities as you come together in community, your individualized creative abilities, and your individual unique perspectives as expressions of all that is of source of the universe itself. And for this, we thank you, for we are enjoying our time with you very, very much, and you called it into existence in collaboration with Greg. So we thank you for this. We bid you adieu for today. We hope that you do enjoy your day. And please do share with dear beloved Greg any experiences, more experiences that you have been having. We do so love to read them when they come through his various channels. Yes, indeed, we are aware of them even as you have them, or as you're expressing them in your heart or in your mind or with your words with a dear friend. We also love to read them as he reads them as well. And of course, the reading is not required, for we have the energetic awareness of it. Anyways, dear friends, we love you so deeply. Thank you so much for being you and for being here at this time on the planet. Understand that every single time you have a shift, such as the ones you've been having over the last 30 days, you are helping the universe itself expand. You are helping humanity itself evolve. There is nothing you need to do out in the physical necessarily, unless it resonates with you. It is all done within your heart. And we thank you. And we love you. Hi. Oh wow, that was another really intense one. Oh no, I'm out of water. Water's like the single most grounding thing for me. It's so incredibly crazy cool. Let's see, what are we saying? Carrie says, everything everywhere all at once. That was a good movie. Thank you, Council, for your wisdom and love. You're welcome, Carrie. Hi, Heidi. Good to see you. I appreciate the energy. I do too. Angela, you're welcome. She says, thank you for the love and energy. Jack says, thank you. That was beautiful. Mike, I too wish the TARDIS would show up at my door. Yeah, absolutely, buddy. Yeah. Good old TARDIS. I'd love to travel with Doctor Who. Madeline, calming beverage number 1. Happy water. How is that, guys? How is that message? Well, I'm kind of still like, woo. Let's just take a moment. If you're a bit gobsmacked and feeling it all right now, let's just close our eyes for a moment. Uncross your feet. Uncross your legs or your feet if you're crossing them at the ankles, and just place your feet flat and gently on the floor below you. Just bring both your hands to your beautiful heart chakra, and let's just ground for a moment, because I'm like really flying high from that message. Dear guides and council 7, thank you so much for your love. Thank you so much for sharing your wisdom and your insights with us. Thank you for celebrating all the little shifts and ahas, and the big ones, and all the different sized shifts and ahas and awarenesses and insights that we have in every single moment. Thank you so much for holding space for that celebration and for that loving of those moments. We really, really appreciate it. Thank you for being here with us. Thank you to everybody here today. Thank you, Mother Earth, for holding our feet, for supporting our bodies, for providing constant, never-ending physical stability and support to us. And thank you, Father Sky, and all the celestial bodies, for shining your light down upon us, inspiring us to think beyond our bounds, to think beyond the limits. For every single time we look up at the stars and we see how many there are, we're reminded of all the possibilities, all the countless possibilities. Things are not always the way we see them. And we thank you for this reminder, and we thank you for this insight, and we thank you so much for community. And I thank all of you for being here. These sessions have been so incredibly precious to me. I know they have been to many of you as well, and I'm so happy to have created this time with you. I'm so happy to just be able to be here. Jennifer says, wow, amazing. My first time, and that was beautiful. Oh, Jennifer, I'm so glad for you. You're a firstie. Everyone say hi to Jennifer. She's a firstie. Welcome. So good to have you. Wow, amazing. I love that. April, wow, they gave us a shout out on how we are integrating the messages. Seriously. Yeah, I forgot about that. So true, April. They totally gave you guys a shout out about that. Yeah, the way you said it. Wow, they gave us a shout out on how we are integrating the messages. You guys really are. I mean, if they said it, I believe it. Absolutely. Kay says, yes, the movie, but my response to the council as to their comment about everything happening. Yes, indeed. Sherry says, thank you. Praying hands. Heidi, so are you channeling a different part of you that wants to speak and would be like writing a poem instead of speaking out loud? What is this happening with you? I feel what you were speaking were like what my constant neurotic mind does without speaking. I want to write down my thoughts versus speaking. Then do it. That's called automatic writing. Carrie actually does automatic writing. Automatic writing is a form of channeling. In fact, everybody can channel. In fact, we're always channeling. When you sit down and are doing a project for work and you get in the zone, or when you sit down, you're doing or not even sit, but stand and do a creative project and you lose track of time. When you are sitting and you are so completely present with a dear beloved friend or family member or whatnot, and you are listening so intently, and then you two look at the watch and go, oh my, where did the time go? You were channeling. When you're busy preparing a meal and you're just sort of lost in the enjoyment of the preparing of the meal, when you're watching a movie and you get so absorbed in the story that the next thing you know, the movie's over. That is all the state of channeling. So we're all doing it. So am I channeling a different part of me? Yes, because I'm part of all that is, and the council is part of all that is. So yes, I'm channeling a different part of me. Do they exist individually? I don't know. Do they exist as a unique group or gathering? I believe energetically they're a unique perspective, right? Otherwise, I don't hear a lot of people, I don't listen to a lot of people, but I don't hear a lot of talk about wasness, not yetness, isness, all that kind of. So they have a unique way of expressing the energy and the knowledge and the wisdom that exists in the collective consciousness. Whether they're real or not is irrelevant to me. I think that what the tip that they gave is if it resonates in your heart, then it is real. So in terms of the voices, I would encourage you, Heidi, to let go of the label of constant neurotic. That is simply assigning, well, it doesn't feel like a very good definition of what's going on in your mind. Perhaps more is going on in your thinking than you realize. Perhaps you have been getting messages and the next step is to write them down. If they feel good, if it feels light, if it feels happy, if it feels freeing, that's all good. If it feels burdensome, if it feels heavy, if it feels weighed down, it's usually the mind. Carrie says, yes, I do as well as channeling like Greg. However, Greg, I don't know who I'm channeling, the divine. I didn't know who or what I was channeling. The who doesn't matter. I spent several years simply saying I am a channel for love. How can you be a channel for love? When somebody comes up to you and you open your heart, you don't give them all your energy, you just open your heart and you allow love to flow through you to them. That's you, us channeling love, right? Just simply holding the space of love. I do this all the time, every live session. Every live session, I am channeling love to you guys. I'm holding a space for all of us and I'm just letting love come through. You don't have to have a who or a what to channel. Sherry says, I feel like I'm getting better at recognizing that voice instead of thinking it's a random thought. Beautiful, Sherry. I love that. Exactly, says Carrie. Very cool. Heidi, did you have more questions about that? I say write down your thoughts. Absolutely. You know, I have a mild theory. I had a what I thought was a dream when I was 4 years old. And it was a scary dream to me. And in the last year, I've done some looking into this dream and having new awarenesses and new perceptions around it. And it's a funny dream because at the time, I went and told the adults that Batman and Robin and the Man in the Moon came and tickled me. And it scared the crap out of me. I now am starting to believe that I either was visited by beings from somewhere else, or that it was the council coming and activating my energetic sensitivities. But that was when I was 4, and I spent most of my younger years before 23 over consuming things to keep myself numb. And so once I let go of that, doing that, and started meditating over 35 years ago, I think then that's what started to fine-tune my awareness. But I didn't even know channeling was a thing. I didn't know channeling was a thing until about 20 years ago when I read my first book from Abraham Hicks, Ask and It Is Given. That's when I started to realize that channeling was a thing, because they were the very first ones that I ever got to meet. Madeline says, I thought the other day about I invented, explored another expression when it's both between wasness and not yetness for the things I dreamt and worked for but never got to live. There's a lot to unpack there, Madeline. Wow. I have to read it again. I thought the other day about I invented, explored another expression when it's both between wasness and not yetness for the things I dreamt of and worked for but never got to live. Got it. Well, not yet. Or you did. Here, okay, this is gonna blow your guys' minds. I totally believe this. Oftentimes we get an idea, but it is not for us to bring it forth. It is not for us to have the experience, but we're the idea creator. And then alternate reality, parallel dimension, parallel timeline versions of ourselves are the ones who enact or get to receive the experience, because it's within their contracts and agreements for the life, the time that they're experiencing. And because there is no past or future, that everything is being experienced right here, right now, including past and future lives are all occurring right in this moment. That individual gets the benefit of us having the idea. That soul, that version of ourselves, gets the benefit of us, this version, having the idea, immediately gets that benefit. And that is how it should be designed. So we should never feel bad, well, try not to, if we have a desire or have a wish or have an idea and we don't put it into action, or it doesn't quote unquote come to fruition for us. If we can trust that it is existing the minute we have the idea, and that some version of ourselves is experiencing that, then because those versions are all interconnected through the master or the oversoul, I like calling it master soul, because they're having that, all of that wisdom, all of that experiential knowledge is available to us at any given time. Chew on that for a while, it'll blow your mind. I thought of that on a walk a couple of months ago, and suddenly everything started, I could see everything vibrating, everything, it was, I don't even have words for the experience. Everything vibrated so quickly that it slipped away, everything physical, that it was a really profound experience. Yeah, it's totally mind-blowing, but not easy to wrap your mind around. Heidi says, it helps a lot. I'm a labeler. I need to release that. Simple way to release something. Simple way to release something. Recognize, first off, understand and come to know that Nothing in life has any inherent meaning unless you give it to it. We are the ones that create meaning in life for ourselves, for our own lives, right? Experiences, occurrences, people, places, events, things, all that, they have no inherent meaning. They're all naturally neutral, and we are the ones that assign the meaning to it. If you have assigned the meaning of yourself as a labeler, if you have assigned the meaning of these thoughts as neurotic, you are the source of that meaning, not the things, not the thoughts, not even you labeling yourself as a labeler. So that means you have the power to choose a different label. You could even choose to not label. You could just look at what is and just be like, oh, that is. Those are just my thoughts. That's just how they are. In fact, that's a beautiful possible strategy. That you may figure out a different strategy on that. But just to simply see our thoughts, right? Even within the council's suggestion of just seeing everything that is, not pushing against, not railing against what is, we can even do that with our thoughts. Oh, there I go, obsessing about this individual again. That's just where my thoughts are right now. It doesn't make me an obsessive individual. There I go, feeling sad about something. That doesn't make me a sad person. I'm just experiencing sadness right now. Oh, there it is. It's just how it is at this moment. Yeah, there's so much there. I mean, there's so much that we have talked about this last month, and I'm looking forward to the reprises in May. They're going to be super, super fun. I'm glad it helps, Heidi. Carrie says, oh, wow, that would be awesome, Greg. Madeline, never got to liveness or something, but that's too long. Yes, indeed. It's all part of isness, my dear. I would keep it simple. The isness of that particular experience. Allison, I have so many ideas, it's overwhelming. I don't know where to start, but maybe they're not for me in this timeline. Exactly. Maybe they're not for you in this moment. Maybe they're for you, another you, in this moment. Maybe they're for someone else in this timeline. Like, what does it really matter? If I have this brilliant idea for a certain kind of gathering and somebody else puts it together, what does it matter whether I do it or not? It came to fruition either way. If you have this beautiful idea for something that would be beneficial for the planet, for example, or whatever, you don't need to be the one to bring it to fruition. You're the one who birthed the idea. That's amazing. We are so tied as humans to the doing. We think that the doing is what matters. It doesn't. It's the energetic happening. It's the energetic unfolding. It's the synchronicity of it, right? And maybe we'll have the experience of it unfolding in the physical for us, but we get the experience of experiencing it as an idea in our head. That makes it real. That makes it real. If we are feeling excited about this idea, wow, that's what makes it real. Not the doing of it. Not the physical manifestation. It becomes real energetically before it even manifests physically. Also, bear in mind that if it's a really powerful, if it's an idea that you are really powerfully connected to, your preferences and your concepts and your perceptions of it are going to continue to expand and shift. And the universe knows best. Source knows best at which point it should become physical. You may need to go through a lot of sifting and sorting through different perspectives, different preferences. You might be tweaking it mentally for a long, quote unquote, time, and then it will just lock in your mind, and you'll know there's no more tweaks that I need to do right now mentally. And then you can open your perception and maybe it will exist physically. It doesn't have to exist physically, but enjoy the process. Enjoy the process, because as you are working with those different ideas, Allison, and for anybody else, as it feels good to do that, if it's feeling joyful, it's feeling exciting, you're creating energetically, and that's beautiful. Carrie says, yes, our minds aren't really equipped to understand that concept. Yeah, they're not. Heidi says, wow! Exclamation point. See the thoughts like clouds, says Carrie. They are. Let them just float away, or just let them float around. Sometimes thoughts, you can't say thoughts are people too, but thoughts have every right to exist. And we have every right to choose to think differently. But you can't choose to think differently if you are pushing away and resisting and insisting that you think differently. It doesn't work that way. It works by just being with what is. This is how I'm currently thinking. I'm willing and interested in thinking differently about this topic. The minute you say you're willing to believe differently, that's when you start to release patterns of thinking. April says, that was my biggest lesson. I am not my thoughts. You are not your thoughts. And yet, your thoughts are you. But we do not define ourselves. What the way April's saying it is a simpler way than what I'm about to say. But that our thoughts do not define who we are. That's really what it comes down to. That the way we think does not define who we are. Labels should never define who we are, in my opinion. But that's me being me, because I'm anti-label, if I can. Although I love naming things, so maybe I'm not anti-label. Indeed, there's so many little subtleties and nuances. Allison's beautiful, thank you. I'm way too attached to the doing. You know what? I get that way too. I've recently had that experience with wanting to grow my business, wanting to bring more of this outside of Insight Timer, to more into the world. A lot of that desire was focused on what do I need to do that? What do I need to do that, right? When I actually asked the council, what do I need to do to grow my connection with you so that I can become a better channel and work more closely with you? They said to do this, and here we are a month later. Coffee with the Council is alive and well and heading into May. That's all I needed to do, was show up for that. So sometimes the answers are so simple. And sometimes the effort is so easy. I think the effort should be easy when we're coming from alignment. It's usually not easy when we're not coming from alignment. Thoughts are energy, says Sherry. Everything is energy, including thoughts. Absolutely. Madeline says, yes, I've been thinking about that too, that on another timeline, parallel realities, I did get to become a mother. And thrive in the profession that I studied for over 7 years to absolve excellently, as I actually did. Yep. However, in this world, I got ill 2 to 3 years after finishing uni. Borreliose and COVID triggered other immune systems. Still can't do normal everyday things of a 30-year-old person. Right. Well, guess what? One of your alternate versions of yourself might know what that experience is like is too, and might have passed it, might have gone beyond it. Anything is possible. Carrie says, Sherry, haha, we both said at the same time. Yes, you did. Madeline says, it's a slight comfort to believe that I have something else as life purpose here. Sometimes when I can't pay both meds and foods and have to choose, it's a bit sad though. Yeah, it can be. I mean, I get that. I was on social support for a long time. I was on food stamps, Medicaid. I relied on housing from others. It gets sad. But remember, that sadness is just an indication that you're not viewing the current topic of thought from the place that your higher self, from the place that source is, from a place of love. And you have an option of choosing a different way to think about it. And that's okay. Even in those moments, that sadness is revealing. That sadness has a message for you. That sadness might just want you to sit with it and to close your eyes and just to be like, right now, what's true for me is that I'm sad, and that's okay. There's a beauty to embracing that, Madeline. And yet remember, my dear, that you are not the body. That you are indestructible, eternal, love energy, a unique expression of source that came down to this planet into a physical body, not came down, but coalesced focused your energy. It's not really an up and down thing. It's more of an in and out thing. Focused your energy in a way to have this particular experience. To experience it. Absolutely. I'm glad you're still exploring. The minute we're not exploring anymore, we'll probably leave the body or dismiss. We don't really leave the body. We raise our vibration high enough to where we no longer are physical. And we go back to being purely spirit. Carrie says also, Madeline, one of your realities may be that you heal yourself as well. Yeah, that's a possibility too. Hi, Heidi. You're in Salt Lake. Yeah, I used to be outside of American Fork. Southern Utah's your second home? Great. Let me know next time you come down. I just moved here about a month ago. Madeline, we all love you. You are here with friends in love. And I recognize in what you're sharing today that there is some challenge, that there may be some struggle, and that is beautiful. Remember, the council is celebrating even the struggles that we have. Why would the council celebrate even the things that we find difficult in our life experience? Why would they celebrate it? Why does anyone celebrate anything? It's a good question to ask yourself when you're in the midst of having a hard time. When you're in the middle of having a really challenging time, or you're getting emotionally charged, and you just can think and hopefully remember, the council is celebrating this moment that I'm experiencing. Why is the council celebrating this moment that I'm experiencing? Why is Source celebrating this moment? They must know something that I'm not seeing. I'm going to start looking for that. I'm going to open my mind up. I'm going to open my heart up to the infinite possibilities. I'm going to raise my perceptual tools. I'm going to raise my ability to perceive, because I want to know why they would be celebrating this right now. Why are they celebrating this thing that I'm finding so difficult and challenging? And when you shift, when you start to make that shift and start to look for those possibilities and look for those reasons, then you start to begin to release what you are thinking. For everything you are experiencing in life, every single experience we have is just a reflection of our perspective. And when we shift our perspective, then everything around us shifts. Everything around us shifts. April says, nothing that we experience in this earthly life can tarnish our souls. Absolutely. I take great comfort in that fact. Yep. And honestly, my friends, I'm not scared of death. If you're afraid of death, I get it. I understand it. But death's just returning to the all that is. That sounds pretty damn good to me. So there's nothing to be afraid of. I think people get just overwhelmed with the definitions about things. Why do we define death as a bad experience? Why do we define losing a job or having a breakup or being sick as a bad experience? Why do we define it that way? We're defining it. What about those individuals that we meet who have cancer, who are dealing with osteoporosis, who have chronic asthma, or have chronic fatigue, or who have chronic arthritis, and yet for some reason they're blissful, they're calm, they're centered, they're happy. They're sick too, and yet they're happy, they're calm, they're Why? What is that? What did they figure out? What perspective did they tap into that helps them feel that way? Now, of course, they're probably not that way all the time, but if they have been practicing something that helps them see things that they're experiencing that way, and physical pain for me is one of the most difficult things to experience. Physical and financial pain is two of the hardest things that I could ever experience, right? And yet, here are all these examples in life, okay? For example, Marty, who I used to live with, her husband had the definition that after you retire, you wither away and die. Because that's what he saw his parents do. They stopped doing things and they sat around and withered away until they died. My mom had the belief, had the definition, that as you get older, the body disintegrates, the body breaks down. And yet look at all the examples of people out there who are in their 80s, 70s, 80s. She died at 76. 70s, 80s, even 90s, and they're freaking healthy as an ox, and they're strong as an ox. And you'll say, oh, that's because they did things differently in their life. No, it isn't. It's because of their belief system. Yes, they did things differently in life than, say, my mom or Marty's husband, George. But they did things differently in life because of what they believed, because of what they perceived, because of the perspective that they had. But it all comes back to the belief. They believed. I don't believe that the body has to break down. I'm 61 and people think I look 30 and 40. I don't believe the body has to break down as you get older. I believe you can have whatever you want for the body, but you have to really know that on a knowing level. So just a few examples, different ways to think about these things. We are indestructible, says Carrie. Yes, our spirit is truly indestructible. Sherry, I found joy at the most difficult time of my life when my mom transitioned. She transitioned 4 years to the day of my oldest sister. I don't know why I felt such joy. Maybe knowing she was going to see her firstborn again. Maybe, Sherry, whatever brings you the joy and the relief and the lightness and the freedom. April says every new beginning starts with an ending. Absolutely. The date was a sure sign. I love that for you, Sherry. Yeah. Carrie says I'm 71 and people say I look like I'm 50. Yeah, and Carrie's an amazing example. Can I talk about this, Carrie? What we used to talk about last year? Okay. So one day Carrie wrote to me because we're on socials and she was talking about how well, maybe she can share it, but I don't remember exactly this. But basically, she was experiencing this really deep fear about that she's too old to be sharing her gifts. She's too old to have gifts. She's too old to have a purpose. She's too old so she had this whole story, this whole belief around being too old. And just in the last few months, she's been embracing her gifts like never before. She's been doing automatic writing. She's learned that she's a channel, and she's digging and sorting and sifting through, learning what that means for herself to be a channel. And I have not heard her speak about being too old for any of this. So she's shifted this belief about being too old simply because she just wanted to know more about herself, simply because whatever it was. Do you know what it was that shifted it, Carrie? Seeing the possibilities, maybe? Being lovingly supported by me and other friends? Telling you you're not too old, you're never too old, right? But you know what? People can say something to you like, oh, you've got this, or you're never too old, whatever. Unless you change the beliefs behind it, that whatever they say might be lovingly supportive or even just patronizingly supportive in the moment, but it won't affect you until you make the change internally in your belief system. Yeah, look at that. Sherry says Louise Hay began her business in her mid-50s. And look at them, Louise Hay, you can heal yourself. What is it? You can heal yourself or something like that. I forget the book. Love that. Yeah, so Carrie's a great example. She no longer talks about she's too old for any of this woo-woo stuff. Christine says it's one's own power, choice to pivot away from a certain perspective. Exactly. Or even better, what I think the council is encouraging us, beyond even pivoting from one perspective to another. So hold on for a moment. Stop whatever you're doing. If you're in the middle of typing, stop and listen to this, because this is coming through and this is potent. They're inviting us to open our perception to see every possible perspective, Think about it for a moment. If you're in one perspective and then you shift to another one, that's good. That's your pivoting. That's powerful. That can be helpful. That's a shift. But when you open up your perceptive abilities, when you open up your level, when you raise your level of awareness to the point where you can perceive all possibilities, oh, wow. Then you are truly living in the isness. Then you are truly living in connection, intimate knowing of all that is. That's huge. That's kind of where I want to go. But that's just for me. So even being able to perceive more than one possibility is expansive. It's more expansive than just pivoting from one to another. If you can only grab one, fantastic. Go for it. Make the shift, make the change the belief system. If you can start to perceive many different options and possibilities about one particular thing, it's like so cool, because then you're suddenly realizing, oh, wow, I could have chosen this response. I could have chosen this other response. I could have chosen no response. I could have, oh, somebody else might respond to this in this way. Wow, that's amazing. Look at how that person is defining their physical experience. Oh my, look at how that person is defining their physical experience. I begin to see all the different possibilities, and I begin to see and allow them to have their isness. And then you're like, wow, everything just is. It's really powerful. Madeline says, interesting, you mentioned chronic fatigue and pain. That's one part of my life too currently. Yes, on many days I'm feeling grateful and joyful despite it all. One of my mantras is I'm getting better and better every day in every way. Yeah, that's great. I love that. Carrie says, too old my butt. I'm just getting tarted. Carrie's getting tarted. How do you get tarted? Is it a cherry tart? A raspberry tart? Madeline says, You Can Heal Your Life is the book by Louise Hay. Thank you. I can never remember the name of that. Jack says, Madeline, I too am going through similar. My heart is with you. Yes, the perception of your physical wellness is all perception. It's difficult, I know. Physical pain, health challenges, they can be some of the most difficult because they're bringing you into a very current awareness of your body. But understand that when you reach a point of knowing that what you're thinking is running the show about those physical pains, because your body is simply reflecting, it's just a mirror reflecting what you're thinking. So to begin to see yourself as whole, I know that's hard, but to begin to see yourself as whole, to begin to allow the current experience and to listen to it, to make friends with it, to befriend it, to not push against it, to not shy away from it, to not resist it. And of course, you'll have moments where you're shying from it, where you're resisting it, where you're pushing against, where you're insisting it'll be different. But all those moments are opportunities for growing. All those moments are opportunities for learning new perspectives as well. So it's all beautiful. And that's one reason the council celebrates even the painful moments that we have. So, what if, says Christine, for sure. I love it. All right, my dear friends, I got about 11 minutes before this work meeting. I got a day full of meetings. Thank you so much for being here today. I'm so glad we got to spend this time together. If anybody came in late, welcome. If you've never followed me, I invite and warmly welcome you to follow me. You'll get notified about upcoming sessions. And we're doing more in May at 1 p.m. Mountain Time. Right now, we're going to stick with Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Fridays. And I think we're going to start, let me look at the calendar. Yeah, I'm going to take the next few days off. I think we'll start up again next Monday. So I will work on getting those booked into Insight Timer so that you guys can put them on your calendar. And yeah, I think I need to leave Wednesday open because I have my Zoom event on Wednesday afternoons. If you've never been to that, write to me. I'll tell you all about it. It's really awesome. Yeah, and then I have a lot of work meetings on Wednesday too. But I think I might do an extra live, not just Coffee with the Council. Do this one that I've been calling Spiritual Snacks for Soulful Seekers. So I have to weed that in somewhere. It's this really cool new kind of reading live that I've created, and I really want to try it out. Instead of taking personal questions, you guys would all give me topics that we would put into the wheel of names. If you've ever been to one of my readings lives, if you've ever been to one of my readings lives or anybody else's lives, I use a thing called Wheel of Names where we put everybody's name in, and so that the universe decides who gets called on. Instead of that, I want to throw different spiritual topics and concepts into the wheel, and then spin the wheel and let the universe decide what concept to talk about, and then either I or the council will talk about that concept, and we could just do that. I mean, we could do that for a long time. So that's my new live stream idea that I want to implement. Sending love to all of you. You're welcome, Jack, for these sessions. They have been incredible. I'm so glad. You're welcome, Allison. So good to see you, sweetheart. I really appreciate getting to see you again. And our meeting later. Carrie, our meeting later. Yes, sending love to you all. Indeed, Sherry. Happy you're taking time off, Greg. Me too, April. It's important as a projector to space out and give myself rest. Zoom is so uncomfortable for me, says Sherry. I want to get over that. My Zooms, I don't require you to have the camera on. You could just sit and listen. It's more powerful to actually hear each other's voices than it is. I mean, it's lovely seeing each other. But yes, Zoom can be uncomfortable for many people, but I don't require having cameras on. Yay, everybody's love. I love how you guys share so much. It's so good. Much love to all here. Thank you, Greg, and the council, says Carrie. Jack, you can friend request me if you want. You are just blocked. Oh, okay. Allison says Greg's Zoom calls are the best. Thank you. They are quite wonderful. If you've ever been on journeys with me, that's what we do. What weekday do you Zoom? You can go to my teacher's link and find out everything I'm doing off of Insight Timer, Madeline. So I'm not allowed, I've already said a little bit too much. I'm not supposed to promote anything outside, but my link is available in my teacher's profile under the About tab. And if you scroll all the way down, that's where the teacher's link is. And I have all of my offline stuff there. Yes, indeed. I have a newsletter, I have socials, I have a bunch of other stuff. Anyways, you are free to check that out. We will continue to be here in Insight Timer. It's a safe place, says Allison. It truly is. It's no different than this, except that people can talk. It really is no different energetically than an Insight Timer live stream. It's still me. Yeah, it's still me. So, but normally I do Wednesday afternoons, but not every Wednesday, first and third. Click on the profile picture. All right, my dear friends. I have got to go pee and prep for this work meeting. I've got 2 hours of work meetings. Then I'm meeting with Gwen to record a recording for my newsletter. And then I'm meeting with Susan Sage for our group coaching. So I have a very busy day today, but I am so glad I got to spend the morning with you guys. 911 followers? What? Really? That's funny. My pop-up says I have 685, which is so not true. Anyways, I love you too, Carrie. I love all of you. I'm going to send you all away. Much love and blessings to you. And when you're having a difficult time, ask yourself, why is the council celebrating this moment? Why is the council celebrating this very experience I'm having? Ask yourself that, my dear friends. And allow your mind to open and your heart to open to the possibilities. I will hug all of you someday. I'll see you later. Do take care. Have a great Wednesday.